My mother, her involvement with my child is different than it was with me. She is much more loving. My mother is much more caring, giving, unselfish with my child than she was with me.
The difference in philosophy between my wife and I think primarily would be that as much as I love my grandchildren, they're not the whole world to me. And they've got to realize that, and I've got to realize that.
My daughter is a single parent, and she also runs her own business, so her time is very limited. I feel that I can pick up the slack, and that is an important thing in the lives of children whose mother has to be gone 8 to 10 hours a day and travels.
Well, my parents are always a lot more uptight about things because they want to make sure I make no mistakes. But my grandparents are kind of more lenient, and they understand that you need to make your own mistakes because everyone makes their share. They're definitely more lenient, and especially when I want to buy things, they're always saying, you know, let her spend her money and just relax.
They were the ones we could get away with things with. They let us have sugar cereals and candy, and although not too much because we got a little wild.
My grandson and I have gone whitewater rafting in the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. I took my 13-year-old granddaughter snow skiing for the first time. So I did hear one of my daughters say, well, you're not like my grandmother was.
They like to know everything academically that I do because, you know, they're going to pay for my tuition.
This past week I paid for my grandson's braces because time's running out.
My father's role as a grandfather is incredible. He has been involved almost daily with my daughter Jordan, and she has a nickname for him, Getcha. And she thinks of him as an immediate family member.
And when Ellen wanted to do something for my anniversary, she called my dad and asked if he would sit down with her and teach her how to paint on glass. So they did it together. Now they've done it 2 years in a row.
I used to love to dance. I can't now so much, but I still wish that maybe I could go to his senior prom with him. I would love that. I don't know if he knows that, but I think it would be fun. And he would be proud. He would be very proud to be with me. And we would just have a really good time. I mean, he could have a girl there too. I'm not saying he can't take a girl also, but I would just like to be part of it. I think it would be fun to be part of it with him, because he's such a special boy.
I remember in 6th grade I mentioned I wanted to go cruise down the Nile.
She's always been interested in ancient history, and she asked me about going to Egypt.
And my grandmother remembered that. And when I graduated from college, that was my graduation present.
And she reminded me of it, so we did.
That, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents more than my mom and dad, so they've kind of taken on like a parental sort of position.
And Susan lives with me now and is just, I think I have learned more from her than I might have from another course at school.
I never got the chance to know my grandparents. And she gets to learn and respect and, have that other part of who she comes from.